Today's training is about 5 first date conversations when you're over 50 and after you've gone through a divorce. Hi, I'm Jaki Sabrin, Executive Love Coach and CEO of Engaged at Any Age, a company that helps women deliberately date and consciously create the man of their dreams. I met and married my old soulmate match husband, Michael, after being single for 8 years, and I'm still on the honeymoon and passionate about helping you get engaged at any age. Today, I want to talk to you about first date conversations when you're over 50 and after a divorce. So if you're back on the dating circuit after a divorce, it's only natural that you're going to have some anxiety about what to say to a man on a first date. So I want to give you 5 things that you should talk about on a first date to make it easier for you so you can ease into this transition. All right, here's your first thing that I want you to talk about on your first date if you've been divorced and you're over 50 and beyond. Okay, so travel. A lot of things are great to talk about, but travel, not movies. Movies are a little boring, but travel is really fascinating since a lot of travel conversations come from maybe trips with family members or dream vacations that you want to do or bucket list topics. That traveling is such a great topic. And also it shares a little bit about what your desires are and creates a little intimacy because you're sharing something private about yourself and so that you're really letting him in. And it's basically going to give you a really good feeling about yourself, and it's going to make you appear more attractive. So even if you don't have a big trip that you have to share, don't worry about it. Share a camping trip, share a weekend trip, just share something about travel because that's just such an interesting topic when you're over 50. All right, so the second thing I want to share is it's not just what you say, it's how you say it. And I say this a lot. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. So be an active participant in the conversation. Come from a place of curiosity and don't be too passive. If the man's talking on and on and on, which sometimes happens, go ahead and insert yourself in the conversation, but always come from a place of curiosity and genuine interest to get to know the other person. It's going to go just fine, I promise you. And if a man is kind of continuing to go on and on, you can always just reach over and put your hand on his forearm because a touch on a first date is really great, especially if you like the guy. It creates intimacy. So go ahead and reach forward and say, I don't mean to interrupt you, but can I add something to what you're sharing? And smile at him. I don't mean to interrupt you, but can I intervene and interject something? And he's going to respond really well to that because he's going to recognize, one, that it's a conversation, not a monologue, and 2, he's going to want to hear what you have to say, especially when you say it like that. 3, I want you to share some secrets. Okay, so offering personal information can create intimacy and a powerful feeling of connection. And so what kind of secrets can you share? I don't want you to be controversial and get into politics or religion, but you will enjoy the conversation so much more when you share intimate things about yourself. So you could say something like, I'm feeling really nervous right now. I haven't dated in decades, and I'm just so grateful that you reached out to me. Thank you. I'm really enjoying this, but I am a little nervous. And then just leave it at that. That's something, a little secret that you can share with him. And you could even say, can I let you in on a little secret? And then he's going to say, sure. And you can say, I'm really nervous. This is my first date. Or I just started dating after my divorce. And so I haven't dated in decades. So just be real and be honest and be authentic about that because that's going to create vulnerability. And men respond really well to vulnerability because you never know. He might be feeling exactly the same way. All right, here's your 4th thing that I want you to talk about on your first date conversations over 50. This is just a random question to get the conversation going. So I'm just thinking that most men like beer. And so you can just ask him, so do you like the flavor of beer? Do you like the taste of beer? And he'll be just like wondering why you asked him that. But it could lead to not really, or yeah, I do. And he could share with you what kind of beer he likes and if it's lager versus draft, etc. And then you might offer, well, I don't really like beer, but I love Cabernet. I've been really wanting to get up to Napa. I've never been to a winery. Have you? And so then there's a whole conversation about that. And so just these random type of questions, come up with one of your own if that one doesn't appeal to you. But coming up with something a little obscure definitely creates a little more interest and intrigue in the conversation. And you just never know where that will lead to. I want to give you another tip because I want to make sure that you don't make this mistake, which is talking about your ex. Okay, so this is the thing that you want to stay away from, is talking about your ex and talking about your divorce in any details. And don't dwell on it, because basically you're there to set the tone for what you want to create, something new. And if you get stuck in that dialogue around talking about your divorce, you're really demonstrating by what you're sharing that you're really still stuck in that. You're still stuck in that energy and the storyline around the divorce, maybe even getting into some blame, and maybe some anger or bitterness might surface. So you want to be very careful not to go into that. But what you can say what you can say, and be prepared to answer that basic question on why you got divorced. But you can say, what I'd love to share is what I learned from the experience from my marriage. And here's what I learned from being married. And then you can go on and talk about the lessons you've learned. And then you can ask that question. It's a great question. What did you learn during your first marriage? And just smile. Because it's just so much more positive than asking them about, how the divorce went. Because if you open that Pandora's box, it's going to lead could unravel your date, right? You could get triggered. He could get triggered. Next thing you know, you guys you're disconnected. And the groundwork that you laid in the first 4 things that I suggested is wiped out. So be really careful and really think about, why am I wanting to and feel the need to really get into a deep conversation about my divorce? It's over. It's in the past. And why am I continuing to bring the past and contaminate the present with those storylines? So really want to drop that storyline. Be prepared to give a short answer on why you got divorced. We just drifted apart. We were together for 20 years, raised 2 amazing children, and now we're both on different chapters of our lives. So I'm really excited of what's next. That's what you can say. Keep it simple. Keep it short. If you get to know the man, you can divulge more details. But again, just a little bit on the first date. Okay, so I hope this is really helpful. And if you like my content, please share, like, and subscribe to my channel so that you can continue to receive notification when I create a new training for you. Now, I want you to listen to my freebie. I forgot to mention at the beginning of this training, but I have a fabulous freebie for you. Now, I want you to go to soulmateiq.com and take my soulmate assessment. My soulmate assessment is just a short quiz that is going to tell you the vibrational frequency that you're vibrating at and how close you are to attracting your soulmate. So with that assessment, I'm going to send you your results, and then I'm also going to send you a feminine exercise to help you get further into alignment, to support your growth in that area so that you can change that frequency and fast track your ability to manifest your soulmate. Okay, ladies, thank you so much for being here. And as always, I'm just sending you so much love today. Bye.